Hey guys, happy Thursday. Welcome to my show, Words of Divine Love. My name is Sarah. I'm super excited to have you guys here this week. Holy Venus retrograde. Holy Venus retrograde. Wow. Okay. So the energy has been pretty intense. It's been pretty heavy. What is Venus retrograde bringing us? Okay. So Venus rules like love, beauty, attraction, attachment, money, things like that, right? And so now we have Venus in retrograde. So things are coming up in those areas of our life to be looked at. So most likely we're being asked to let go and examine any behavior patterns or ways of being, people, situations, things that are no longer serving us, or things that needed to come up to be healed, accepted, whatever, right? So likely for a lot of people, relationship stuff, relationship things are huge right now in Venus retrograde. If you did not be honest with yourself about your relationship, with yourself and your relationship with the people closest to you, you're definitely being shown that right now. So for some people, you could be having relationship issues. You could be having difficulty with your family or your friends, and you're being called to really look closely at these relationships. This is really important right now because I consider our closest relationships also to be love relationships. We love our friends, right? They're the same as romantic relationships in the way that we tend to love the people closest to us. So we're really examining these relationships, and these things are coming up and being in your face. You're also having people kind of reminiscing and going back and looking at past love and mistakes and evaluating behaviors in relationships. So I know for me, people have been kind of coming up out of the woodwork and being like, from like 20 years ago, being like, hey, I treated you really badly. I'm really sorry. And that's been really interesting in Venus retrograde for me to have people from some from a really long time ago, come up and be like, listen, I regret my choices. I shouldn't have treated you this way. And that's really interesting, right? But it comes up for me to look at, it's not just vindication of wow, someone realized that they were a jerk. That's, it's also for me to look at and reflect things am I still holding on to hurt from this relationship, from this situation that this person is apologizing for? And it gives me an opportunity to reevaluate things. Also, if you're someone who struggled with codependency, you could be being triggered in areas of codependency right now. That's been really big. All right, let's see what's up. So yeah, Venus retrograde. It's been crazy. Yeah, but we're bringing in balance, and so that we have temperance here, which is balance, harmony. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a really fruitful energy, right? Bringing in other decks, it's I always call it the single abundant woman, she's got everything. There's an owl in this deck, wisdom, right? She's gone through this journey. She's become a wise, independent person. The card is feminine, but I'm going to say independent person because man or woman, we're in this Nine of Pentacles energy. The owl also signifies to me experience, right? We gained experience on this journey. And now we're about to reap kind of the benefits of our harvest. In this deck, she has got all of these herbs and stuff up drying that looks like she recently harvested them. And the pentacles are hanging, right? Kind of there, and she's picking them. So she's benefiting from the fruits of her labor. But we're going through this time of bringing forward this balance. And look at this card. I don't know if this is going to show up on the screen for you guys, but he has angel wings. I don't know if I tilt it like this, you can see it better, but he has angel's wings, right? So he's gone through this whole process of purifying his soul, bringing balance to the light and the dark, right? You have the sun, illumination, the moon, secrets, right? Subconscious secrets. And you have these two things intertwining all around him is the light of the moon and the light of the sun, right? He's learned to bring these things into balance, how to use his light side and his dark side and purified himself, becoming like an earth angel, right? As we all get closer and closer to unconditional love, that's kind of how I see everyone, right? Becoming these beautiful physical beings of unconditional love, little earth angels. And he's very much illuminated as well above the clown chakra, the crown chakra, the upper star chakra is how I'm seeing that. So the opening of that upper is also the number 14, which adds up together to be 5. And 5 is about change. And then if you add 9 and 5, that adds up to 14, which is funny. An interesting synchronicity to happen, right? So you've gone through this journey, becoming wise, learning how to balance the energies, becoming sort of this alchemist of the elements, basically, right? Learning how to, not elements, emotions, learning how to use our emotions, alchemize our emotions, and transmute that energy into something positive for ourselves and to moving forward in that space. And that's super beautiful. So hang tight in that space. That's what's happening right now. Like we're just, everything is being brought into like balance and harmony right now, but this stage can be uncomfortable. Whatever's coming up for you to look at in this Venus retrograde is really important. Really important. I know for me, I've definitely been called upon to look at my codependent tendencies, right? And spirit brought me a new person to see how am I going to lean back into my old self and codependent way of being, thinking, or am I going to lean into a new way of knowing that everything is always working out for me and trusting in the universe that what's meant to happen is what will happen. And so that's an example of kind of, for me, what Venus retrograde has been bringing up is that I, looking at myself and being like, oh, and recognizing like, okay, these are codependent type of patterns. This is an abandonment thought program. This is, and because these are all things I've worked on healing. And now I can literally acknowledge when things like that come up for me and say, that comes from my abandonment wound. I've worked on that. I know now, right? And I can remind myself in that space. I can show myself love in that space and honor the way that I feel in that space, because those tendencies are still there. And I have to be mindful of those things. Now that I know my behaviors and my patterns, it's like now I choose how to react, right? Your shadow self doesn't go anywhere. We just learn how to choose how to react when our shadow self is agitated. And with time, it gets agitated less and less, but it does exist. It is still there in existence, right? So those aspects of me still exist. And instead of reacting on them, I can choose to not and completely respond to it in a different way and working on continuing to shift my thinking, right? It's showing me where I still need to do a bit of work in shifting my thought process and my, to clean out that old pattern, that old behavior, right? I keep saying like, we're like computers, like your avatar is a computer, your body, right? And these old programs are running. So now we are running these like virus scanner and malware and defrag and refrag programs, right? And setting up our computer the way that we want it. So we're just being, shown what we need to clean out. Just one card, please. I only have time for just one card. Sometimes I think Spirit forgets this is like a timed show and I can't talk for 100 years. Whatever they want. I get excited. I get in the flow of energy, The Infinite. I feel like we got this card the other day too. I don't know if I got it on here, but I definitely got it on my Facebook page. And do follow me after the show. I'm going to keep going with this Venus retrograde energy on my Facebook page, Words of Divine Love and Healing. Okay, the Infinite. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it. As Lumerians were only partially incarnated, their bodies were much lighter, less physically actualized, and less affected by aging. They were also aware of their infinite nature. This card of rebirth can appear after challenges that have required a level of surrender. You have arrived at a beginning. Revel in your newfound inner freedom. Blockages have fallen away and there are opportunities to step into. Stretch your wings, and arise like a phoenix, born anew, ready for a new cycle of growth. Celebrate and honor the road that brought you here and prepare to take flight with the tools you have gathered in your elevation process, right? And he has wings. He has wings. I love that. I get really excited about that. Wow. And I don't know how long you guys can see, but look at this card. It's so beautiful. Right? She's got these beautiful wings. Right? There's infinite possibilities. There are truly infinite possibilities in this world. And we're learning how to shed all of these old things. It's what we've been doing so that we can be a lighter version of ourselves, right? Releasing all of these dense 3D energies, pain, suffering, anxiety, fear. And as we live less and less in fear and more in love, we become lighter and lighter. Sometimes when I connect and I'm like right really in that vibration of unconditional love, like I just flow out of my chair. I feel light as air. Like I could just, like it's almost an effort to stay in my seat. And that's really beautiful. So as we get closer and closer living in alignment in that energy, more often than not, we do truly feel lighter. And so whatever is coming up for you right now, allow those things to come up, allow those things to be seen and heard by you, right? A lot of times in order to release something, we just need to acknowledge its existence, right? So for me to even just acknowledge to myself, like, this is part of a codependent program that I don't want to run any longer, right? And the putting that up in my conscious awareness helps me to now be able to release that because I can see and accept that about myself, right? And saying that I know those will always be there and I have to choose, right? That's how we surrender. That's how we move forward. Acceptance, honesty, and having compassion for ourselves, forgiveness for ourselves. That's really important. So I'm going to continue talking about this on my Facebook page, Words of Divine Love. I think I'm going to go live right away. I don't think there's going to be much of a break time in between, but 9 p.m. Eastern time at the absolute latest will I be live. Thank you so much for joining me this week, guys. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week. I'll see you guys next week. I'm getting down to my last couple of shows here, so make sure that you like my page on Facebook so you can keep up with what I'm going to be up to. All right, have a good week, guys. Much love to you all.